Why buy a private bank? It's about exclusivity and tailored service. Privacy is key. Clients' financial matters remain confidential, but it's not just privacy. Clients enjoy perks like preferential pricing, exclusive investment opportunities, open doors to new possibilities. Plus, it's under one roof, the ultimate convenience. And for buyers, it's not just service, it's about financial growth and stability.
Hey friends, the purpose of this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes. Nothing that we offer in this video should be considered as legal or financial advice. The purpose of this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only. Also want to let you know, we are flattered by all the imitators out there who try to imitate our domains, my picture, my dry sense of humor, and things like that. All official communications from our company comes from one domain, allfundsglobal.com. We do not have other domains. We do not participate in social media or chat groups or WhatsApp groups to solicit anything to anybody. We only booked professional consultation calls through our website, and all communications comes from allfundsglobal.com. We look forward to working with you.
Imagine you're in the field of arts, and I'm in the field of arts, and imagine you make $100,000 and I make $100,000. But you have a bank license and I don't. Typically, your $100,000 goes into a central bank of the country that you have a bank license in, and the central bank will give your bank a line of credit of 10 times multiplier. So your $100,000 becomes a $1 million line of credit. It's not money, it's not cash, it's a $1 million line of credit. Let's say you draw that out, and you and I live in Canada, and let's say you deal with one of the Canadian banks, and you go to a Canadian bank and you say, look, I have an arts business, and I want to do, I'm going to use the wrong example, like I want to buy a house, I'm going to put 20% down, you the bank give me the other 8%, same thing. I'm going to put $1 million down, and I want project financing for a project that I need funding for, and the bank will give you a loan for $4 million. Now it's a loan, it's not free money, but I want to compare you and me with each other. I have $100,000 and you got a $4 million loan. What can you afford to do with $4 million that I can afford to do with $100,000?
Well, I could think of a few things.
You can invest in technology, hire better people, invest in auxiliary businesses. You're in the arts business. What if you could invest in an auxiliary business that's outside of your industry and make side income out of it? Would that support you if a recession happens, as an example? Those are some of the biggest reasons why I believe certain types of businesses should definitely become a bank. When I say certain types of businesses, if you're a business coach, I think it's a very hard jump. Business coaching and banking are two different things.
Yeah.
But if you're a lender, if you're in a money loan business, if you're a venture capital for an asset management company, real estate development, any business that's capital intensive, I think getting a bank, I know getting a private bank license makes a lot of sense. Now, the next question is, are all bank licenses the same? And the answer is no. You can buy a bank, just Google banks for sale, and you get, a lot of websites that have banks for sale.
Are you kidding me? People are actually selling banks on Google?
Well, I don't know if they're selling banks on Google, but if they have banks for sale, they'll have a listing site, and you'll come across listing sites that are banks for sale. When you want to buy a bank that's already in existence, when you pay that money, you're inheriting all the risks that comes from the transactions that bank has committed to before you bought the bank. All the technology that could be outdated or may not, legacy systems that you're inheriting the customer list. Some of them could be people that are really annoying you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when you're buying a bank that's already in existence, it's like, it comes with a lot of stuff that you may or may not like. Alternatively, you can put your money into starting a bank. It's a private bank license. But then you're not buying it back within a week. It's like it could take you 6 months, 2 years for you to, for a regulator to approve of you and your business plan, whatever else, for you to have a bank. So those are the challenges with that. So I wouldn't say all banks are equal. Now, the other thing is that a lot of banks, especially in the United States, they get 10 times multipliers, but it's not based on deposits. It's based on assets and equity positions. So how the bank CEO, the owner of the bank, has structured the license of the bank with the regulator differs.
They could have had an insurance company with it,
And they could have an insurance company with it.
and they
So
have sticky money coming in.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So I wouldn't say structuring, getting a bank license is all the same. I would say it's a very different one from the other. My recommendation as an organization who's helping lots of clients get bank licenses is to do this. To invest the time to go and meet people who've already bought the bank, people who walked the path before you, and ask the guy, say, hey, look, some guy called Tamer Zaman has a lot of videos about everybody converting to get a bank. Let's put Tamer on the side and the shelf. By the way, Tamer's opinions are very valuable. But putting that aside, putting that one aside, that's a big one. I think it's worth talking to people that bought the bank and say, is it doing what it's advertised to do? How is your life different on day one? How was your life different day 10? How is your life different day 100? What are your new challenges that you're dealing with? Is the auditor regulator that you're dealing with someone you can tolerate? Do you need to have, are there conditions, cash adequacy ratio laws that are changing, like things, Basel II, what are some things that's changing that
Bitcoin.
like that? Interview the people that have gone through before you. And once you've got the information from there, they make a decision on, is this something you want to, a path that you want to go on? Those would be my best recommendations for sure.
Do you still recommend buying a bank with all of that luggage kind of thing? Like, really?
A 1,000,
Oh, yeah?
1,000%. Now,
Okay.
look, I've been preaching this for years now. I've been preaching bank, because I can see the difference it makes and for who it makes, and I can see the financial dollars and the leverage it gets that doesn't have a bank license. I see it every day. Remember, I said even if, but for certain people, and it's not for some other people, or not even in an industry to get banking privileges. And what I've learned last year from a number of CEOs of banks that I have a relationship with, it's okay if you don't want to own a bank, that's fine. I respect that. Why don't you partner with a bank CEO? Partner. We had multiple CEOs of banks coming to me and saying, Tamer, why are you preaching people that they should open up bank licenses? Why don't you preach people partner with us? So when I did the cost benefit analysis for myself, I was like, partner, I'll do partnering any day instead of me owning it. Why would I want to deal with a regulator? Why would I want to deal with technology compliance? I really hate the compliance department of all the banks. I just say I hate it, but you know what I mean? It's like, I'll partner, I'll give you my money, you do all those things. And okay, you get the 10,000 multiplier, give me 5. And you deal with the nonsense. For me, it's a fair trade. I get to have a free time and do all the things that I want to do rather than dealing with all the nonsense around.
Do you find a lot of celebrities are doing this sort of thing, like with all the money that they have?
I have a few. Alphonse Global has 2 celebrity clients that one of them did a 10-second video years ago with us. The other one had a sign something saying, I'll never be on a video. If I go to an event, thou shalt never take a picture of me, like that.
Right.
But I do believe, I do know a number of people that want to leave a legacy behind. And as part of that, they buy a financial institution or something around those world.
Generally speaking, is that something that you would do offshore in a different jurisdiction, or is that a good idea?
I think jurisdictions like Dubai or Cayman Islands have some very unique things to offer in the area of domain of private banking that other jurisdictions may not offer. So listen, if you have a money-making machine So you get a private bank license, and let's say Cayman Islands as an example.
Right.
All your money goes to the central bank, not your bank, because you don't have a brick and mortar bank. It's
Right.
private banking. You don't. There's no like you're not walking to a door. It's private banking.
Okay.
So all the money goes to the central bank. You get a credit
Woo
line.
woo.
Whoa, you get a credit line out of it, and then you can leverage the credit line, turn that
Nice.
into cash, and then do a lot of things that you want to do.
And there's tax implications, I guess, with that too.
Depending on how you structure yourself, that's correct. By law, look, I'm a man of faith, so I believe in the tax man, the people that follow the law, the book
Yeah.
of people, the number of people they're gonna go after for that is that big. The people
Right.
they're running after who trying to avoid paying taxes is that big. I'd rather be on that pile of like paying your taxes. But
Yeah.
depending on how you structure yourself, you could you want to be tax optimized is a better word.
Tax optimized. Interesting. Can you own more than one bank?
Yeah.
How does that
100%.
work? Like I heard that just recently, like some person I met owned 5 banks. How does one person own? Explain that to me. Because you're talking about printing money. I'd love to print money from 5 banks.
Yeah. So what you do is, let's say one of the banks I work with, he has a bank license in Dubai,
Okay.
has a bank license in Sierra Leone, he has a bank license in Eastern Europe. So there's an example of not only 5 but 3, if I can say that way. And so he wires money to a central bank legally, legitimately. The central bank does what it's supposed to do, give him a line of credit, but it's not giving him free money. There's a cost to a line of credit, but he gets the uplift. So that 1 million could become 10 million. Now with that 10 million, he could, if he wants to, send it to a second bank. From the second bank, send it to the third bank. So those are things you could do, but you regulate it. Is
that based on currency? Is that why you would do it? Because it's different currency in different districts? Is that kind of why?
Yeah, currency. Yeah, and oftentimes, believe it or not, this is becoming really more and more popular. People are saying it through crypto. Just because they have so much challenges with saying it through exchanges or SWIFT. Believe it or not, I know a lot of small FINRA banks, like fintech banks, they use crypto as a currency, as a way to send money.
Now that's interesting. So just out of curiosity, because you would know, if you do send a crypto from one bank to another, in terms of the exchange of that, does it remain US dollars the way it started out, or does it get converted into?
No, you convert to whatever. So let's say you get let's say you send money to Dubai, you get 10 times multiplier, you send the 10 times multiplier to your European bank and you get euros out of it, as an example. And now you want to send it to Canada, you may use crypto to send it to a private bank or something in Canada and then convert it to fiat currency.
So why are we all here? Well, I think we are all here because we all want to cross through all that fluff and chitty chat and get down to business. And here in this event, I hear big numbers and really serious big projects which are being executed on the spot. The actual projects are meeting all those bankers and the banking opportunities. Lawyers are flying over today to sign all the deals.
Timor introduces us to people that can get it done and exposes us to bank CEOs, lawyers, traders, just people we wouldn't have access to outside of this environment. Folks with experience in the marketplace.
There's a workbook. Let's get down to business, sign the deals, get those big numbers on the table, and let's get the work done.
I was going to say they present alternative ways to raise capital for conventional assets, operating private equity assets, real estate, hard assets, mining and metals. And if you've got the value, there are ways to unlock the value that I candidly personally never thought of before.
Yeah, listening to other people run their scenarios through helped me think about my own situation. And so yeah, you do pick up something from everyone else.
But have access to products and services that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. And having all of those individuals in the same room that you can talk to, you can ask them questions, you can learn from them, as well as, you know, even engage in contracts to do business. So it's been a wonderful experience.
All of a sudden, I had no idea I would be here, even last week. But I'm very fortunate. I feel like here is a game changing for me, for my company. I met the current bank CEO, I met other friends, all the traders, the real traders. I heard about this, and I needed this kind of breakthrough to scale my public company.
What I learned about money is a function of integrity. If you have character, money follows you. If you don't have character, you have to do lots of sales and marketing. Everybody who's watched my videos or read my book says, this man has character and I can trust him.
Many people remarked about how different their experience was in working with AFG and their ability to not only trust, but the real transparency and authenticity of between Russ and Tamor and the attorneys, and the whole process was so different than anything they'd ever encountered before.
That's interesting. So there's a lot of different things going on with becoming a bank.
There's different things. Yeah, it's not as easy as you would think.
That might be another book that you might want to write, Timur. Like, you have many books. You talk about structured finance, but you have 5 books, I believe. Is that true?
I do, and I wrote a book on private banking and how they're exponentially changing businesses' trajectory. I really, really, really believe, I'm a massive believer of private banking. If you have a private bank, you can do things other businesses simply cannot even envision to.
Wow. Interesting. You know, you are such an interesting guy.
Thank you very much.
That's why I keep coming back to ask you all these questions. I'll have a whole new pile of questions for you the next time.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Tamar, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. If you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of All Funds Global. You simply go to our website, allfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Timo, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within All Funds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with the central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now, it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and you know in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever your bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business. My technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, what a business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within All Funds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Timur, you charge a consultation fee. All Funds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Timur, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything, ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. No, we never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate. They're hardworking people. I know them. They deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even losses against them. The reason within Alphonse Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Tamer Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Tylenol, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them. It's just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow, we have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is an industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is an industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world. And I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Tamer, we love all the services of Alphonse Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? Well, my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out it. We don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in, that you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is, if you're looking for access to capital, you have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get a bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Tamer Zaman from Alphonse Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.